What's going on, guys? Tony Maritato here, and in this video I'm going to share my 3 favorite ways to increase revenue in 2022 for your physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech language pathology business. Now, before I get into the 3 ways, I want to talk about an upcoming virtual event that I'm going to be part of, the Geriatric Virtual Summit. I'll post a link to registration down in the comments below. It's really affordable, and there's like 40 presenters that are talking on all sorts of topics. My topic is going to be the 9 revenue streams every therapist needs to know to keep Medicare profitable, because we know that we're dealing with Medicare reimbursement reductions again, increasing Medicare compliant issues again. It's harder and harder every year, but there are things that you can do proactively that will help keep the profitability in your business while still allowing you the freedom to treat the patients that you want to treat. So let's get into today's topic. What are the 3? And these 3 may or may not be part of my presentation, but what are 3 ways you can increase revenue today, increase profitability today without major capital investment, right? I'm not saying you have to go hire more people or buy more equipment. These are low-hanging fruit that you can start doing quickly. So the first thing that I would tell you to consider is getting into the business of equipment rental. And what I mean is you're not renting the equipment, but you're renting the equipment to your patients. Most clinicians that I introduce the idea to get a little bit weirded out about it, but let's look at the history of what we used to do to gain some insight into what we could be doing. When I was an exercise tech and a PT aide back in the clinic in 2000, 2002, the clinic would be renting TENS units, renting traction units, renting all sorts of devices to patients. Now, because it was traditional DME and I was in a facility that was hospital owned, these services or these rentals were paid for by insurance. But fast forward to today, there's no reason why we can't continue to rent pieces of equipment, exercise equipment and things like that, that's not covered by insurance, but we know is beneficial to our patient, and do it on a self-pay basis. So the easiest way that I think you can do it is if you jump on Amazon or you go to like a Play It Again Sports or any retail, exercise equipment outlet. I like these Schwinn recumbent bikes. There's upright bikes that do really great. My niche is total knee replacement. So if I can buy a $500 recumbent bike, I bring it out, I assemble it, I deliver it to the patient's home. If I was doing mobile therapy, I'd bring the bike with me once I had completed the evaluation and made sure that the patient was interested in this. I'd literally bring the bike, so I deliver it, it's already assembled, we would use it, the patient would rent it for a month, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever the rental period is going to be. And then I'm charging that as a cash service, because that's not a covered service. No DME supplier will cover the cost of renting an exercise bike. But once I've rented that bike for 2 or 3 months, I've basically recovered all of the initial capital investment for the bike. And now that bike will continue to produce profit for me into the next 3 to 5 years, or the useful life of the bike. You can do it with an elliptical, you can do it with a little pedaler, you can do it with so many pieces of equipment that your patients would benefit from using. Your patient might not want to purchase. Your patient might not have the ability to get it, assemble it, do all of these things. And reality is, your patient might love the fact that you're going to take that thing out of their house when they don't need it anymore. So I think a great profit margin, a great opportunity to increase revenue is renting this kind of equipment to your clients if you believe it's beneficial, and obviously if the client wants the rental. Now, idea number 2 is leveraging telehealth. The way telehealth was rolled out initially at the beginning of the pandemic, not so great. People weren't ready for it. They tried to apply, telehealth in a way that they used to deliver in-person services. It was never going to work like that. But looking at the current public health emergency, it has been extended through April 16th, 2022. That means that Medicare will continue to cover telehealth services at least until April 16, 2022, unless it's extended again. So the typical scenario, I was just talking to a clinician yesterday. She's out of Montana. Her patients, she's doing mobile therapy. Her patients are spread out all over the place. So I said, a great model for you to consider, rather than 30, 40-minute commute times, is you're in-person face-to-face with the patient for the initial evaluation. You do your eval, you do your treatment, but before you end that first session, you establish the connection and the technology so that your patient is literally a push button away from connecting with you through a telehealth Medicare compliant platform. Now there's lots of them out there. I'm not going to promote any one. I will say I've used Doxy, I've used Clocktree, I currently use VC more often, but what this model would look like is you're there in person day number one, you establish the connection, you make it so that all they have to do is just answer your call. Then day number two, you tell them ahead of time, hey, I'm going to reach out to you tomorrow, I'm going to see how you're doing, I'm going to make sure you're doing everything correctly. Tomorrow comes, you text them ahead of time, Mrs. Jones, are you ready? I'm going to jump on the telehealth platform with you. She says yes or no. You initiate the call. You're on the phone or platform for 10 to 15 minutes. You review the home exercises. You take a look at the incision. You answer the questions. You determine what is the appropriate CPT code for that service. The beauty of this is you can pretty well do it anytime you're available throughout the day. So you're leveraging what would be gaps in your schedule. You're accessing the value in those gaps and monetizing that. You're also making it so easy for the patient to connect with you that it improves compliance, it improves the patient care experience, it keeps you in the loop if something should go wrong or something starts to happen. And I would set it up so that maybe I do the first session in person, then I do the next 2 or 3 as single unit telehealth sessions, and then I do another follow-up session in person. And so I save the in-person time for the programming updates and the progressions and the things that need my direct attention, whereas I used the telehealth platform as a way to improve the overall patient experience, improve compliance, and reduce the barriers to accessing my therapy services. The beauty in this is it's a single unit session if you do it this way, and there's no MPPR reduction. So dramatic increase in total revenue because you've eliminated the negative effect of a multiple unit reduction. And then finally, now I'm at a loss for words. Oh yeah, finally, idea number 3 for increasing revenue is digital products, info products, a mini course. If you want, I believe the easiest, lowest hanging fruit to create your first digital course if you've never done it is to think of a specific condition. In my case, it's knee replacement or rotator cuff repair. You think of a specific condition. You think of the 10 most common questions you answer on a daily basis related to that condition, and you record your response. You record the question, you record your response. Each one of those is a 2 or 3 minute video, and you compile them into some sort of electronic platform. It could be as simple as emailing links to YouTube hosted videos that are unlisted. You can put it on a platform like Thinkific. You can put it on a platform like Udemy. But the idea is that you're capturing the information that the consumer needs. You're making it available to them. It could be a $10 course, a $25 course, a $50 course. It doesn't have to be patient care. It doesn't have to be treatment. It's information. It's general information and knowledge. The hidden value in this is you could also choose to white label something like that for local orthopedics. So if you know there's a surgeon who's doing rotator cuff repairs and you create the 10 most common questions and your response to those questions, you can make that available to that orthopedic surgeon's patients for free, give them a coupon code or some other way to do it, so that now you've presented something of value to that orthopedic surgeon. That information gets into the hands of the patients who need it the most, and most likely you've developed a virtual relationship with that individual, so when they're ready for therapy services, you're probably going to be top of the list. So those are my 3 go-tos for today. There is a countless number of ways that you can increase profitability, increase revenue. You just have to find the ways that resonate most with you. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it, you're not going to figure it out, and it's just, something that's going to waste your time and take your energy. You want something that energizes you and makes you excited to want to do it. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If you want to see the next video that YouTube is recommending, click on the thumbnail right here. If you want to see more content from my channel, go ahead into the channel library and take a look. I'll catch you guys on the next video.